speak to Gertrude Acheampong, who's the founder. Oh, we can't. We don't speak to Gertrude. Hopefully, we will be able to speak to her a little bit later on. She's the founder of Women in Business Awards, and hopefully, we will be able to hear from her and her experiences and why she felt moved to set up the awards. But it is really interesting that separate award ceremonies, are still felt that they needed to be needed so that the voices and faces can be heard on a very public arena. Because one criticism that is often heard is that there is just not enough visibility of Black success in the wider world. I think we can speak to Gertrude. I think we can. Great, we've got her, brilliant. Gertrude, thank you very much for joining with us and for sticking with us with some of the technical gremlins I think we might have had in the last few moments. Firstly, I wanted to ask you, why did you feel that you needed to start these awards?
Well, I started the awards way back in 2018. Prior to that, I wanted to be able to, I was setting up a business and I needed support from individuals who were willing, or perhaps organizations available to be able to provide these supports for Black businesses. However, at that time, there wasn't anything. So the award is really the pinnacle of what we do. So I decided that I'll go ahead and set something for these women to offer them support, which they usually need in their business life. And then also after that, we need to be able to celebrate their success. And so that's the reason why we set up the award, to be able to celebrate their success, because there wasn't any representation at that particular time. So we had to create something for our own.
Okay. Now talk to me about the success of people in the Black community, Black women in particular. Do you think there's enough visibility when it comes to Black success and then its portrayal within the media?
I mean, there's more we can do. And there's always, since George Floyd's situation a year on now, that there's more we can do. I think there isn't much at the moment because there's still conversations being had. Businesses are more proactive and being intentional about having these conversations. And previously, we haven't had the opportunity to have this conversation, to actually address those issues, hearing from Black people in terms of how they feel in the business world. But now, since George Floyd's situation, we've been able to confidently have this conversation. So we are heading into the right direction, but I think there's more we can do because there isn't any success at the moment. Some businesses obviously have taken their own way of prioritizing recruitment and hiring the right people to be able to address their HR policies, which is really a key area as well, because if that area is not addressed, then there's no way we can move forward. So conversations are happening still. I think we just want to move on to the next stage as to how do we actually measure these success after these pledges and after these conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one comment last year I want to just bring up with you, Gertrude, is something from Simon Woolley, who was the former senior government advisor on race disparity. And he said there's a strong sense that Black people are paid less. Now, there is no legal requirement to publish publicly a ethnicity pay gap within companies. Is that something you would support?
I would definitely support that, because if we're talking about those who are racially, who are affected racially. Also, so there's inequalities when it comes to gender pay gap, which has now been mandatory for companies with 250 employees to be able to publicize their reports. So also we can call for ethnicity pay gaps so that it's fair and transparent for everyone to know how we're doing. Are we taking care of our Black employees? Are we, promoting them, giving them career progression as they should be? Are we creating room for us to be able to recruit more Black people or on senior level management roles? So there's room for discussion. Like, it's just too short notice to be able to measure any success, because there's more we can do. And at the moment, I think until perhaps 2023, 2024, even longer, we won't be able to identify whether all these pledges and implementation that we've introduced in our businesses would actually be successful.
Okay, there certainly is more we can do. Gertrude, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for sticking with us. I know we had some problems at the beginning of our interview, so thank you.